Hi guys. I was contemplating if I needed to make a video on this or not because, strange to describe. I'll try though. So, I wouldn't say my mental health is bad. Is it better? Maybe. So the play I had to be in, which I didn't really talk much about this. Me and one other person are both like leading roles, and then another person's a very important role in it, and then everyone else is like supporting roles or very small roles. Like, yeah. So I got a really good role, and so we were practicing. We were rehearsing for a while, and then um, today's Thursday, and um, so Monday was dress rehearsal. Yeah, that's right. Monday was dress rehearsal. Tuesday we had a night show. Went pretty well. We did mess up a few times. Like I had to pick uh, my friend up because she died. Like they died. He died like a second time. The second one was because of me. So we hit the body, and then afterwards had to pick them back up. I put them at a really weird angle on the steps next to the audience, and so it was a bit difficult. It was like, man, this elf is heavy, Benny. Give me a second. We improvised through a lot of that. We had a lot of minor mistakes throughout. So there was a bit of improvising, like someone didn't put the present for the very last scene. I'm being very vague. You don't even know the story. You're very confused right now. Someone didn't put the present on the stage. So the mom actor had to go in the wings to get the present. And the lights came on like a second time because they shut off again after realizing we weren't ready getting our set pieces for that scene. So the dad just says the mom's line, seeing the mom's not there, like, oh, this is awkward. Merry Christmas, kids. So my sister character is like, where's mom? There's some minor improvising, but for the most part, it did go well. Not a bad audience. Wednesday rolls around. We have a day show and a night show. She also mentioned on the night shows we go at the same time as Drama 4. They go like right after us. The day show in front of a bunch of high schoolers who just wanted to get out of the first block. Tough crowd, man. So towards the beginning, I don't even remember what the things were, but towards the beginning there was like some sort of people would just like breathe out of their nose. Not that funny. At some point, I have to go like, what are my options? Every rehearsal, I was hoping no one noticed this hand gesture. No one take this wrong. I tried to go so slightly so people don't think it. Either way, still, from a bunch of high schoolers, did on the stage like, what are my options? Someone whispers, 6-7. Night show rolls around that same night. Holy shit, every single joke landed. We didn't make a single mistake. We got through the whole thing. Perfect. And also, I feel like my energy went so much more, like, my energy and emotion was so much better that night. I don't know how I did it. It came out of nowhere. I was so good at playing my character. I don't know where it came from. I loved it. And here's the thing. I hadn't been feeling good recently. I've been talking a lot more with my one friend, Squimpy. I've been really close to that person. And what's this other person's name? I keep changing this other person's name because of how often I used to say stories about them. So Doodles, yeah, us three is what usually the friend group would be like. I've been talking a lot more with Squimpy recently, and I kept getting the weird feeling through rehearsals and in general, Doodles was like really starting to resent me. I really started hating this person genuinely, and for some reason, randomly they start using my preferred name, and then every once in a while, don't, or when they're upset with me, they don't. And then all of a sudden, this week, no, not this week, last week, and I think the week before that maybe, they fully just stopped using it. Just full dead name every time. And I hated it. It really hurt. So, today, cause like, we stay after school for the plays, and then it takes a while for the plays to actually start. So in between, we do other things when no one's there. So a lot of the cast often just like walks or drives to the McDonald's down the road. So I'm walking with Squimpy and Doodles, and we have like an actual like really good conversation, really deep conversations with each other in the McDonald's, and when we walk back to the school. This was wait, no, this was Tuesday actually, the first night. And I got to tell them like everything I never got to fully describe, like my home life, how my parents are, my dog, um, psychosis, self harm, suicide attempts, pills, um, queerness, and like my name. I found out they both did a lot of self harm as well. We all had that in common apparently. Went fairly similar with all of us. We all went through like a lot of similar experiences. That's strange. But still, of course, it was insane the stuff I talked about with my parents and my dog. Like, I never really fully talked about it. I grieve my dog a lot internally. I just don't like showing sadness a lot to people because, like, I'm raised very traditionally. Because, like, I even told them this. My brother, autistic, and it was discovered by his school at a very early age. So my mother wanted to fully just act like I couldn't possibly have anything like that at all and just ignore any signs. And so she's a lot harder on me than him. She gives him everything. She's always just so strict on me, gets stricter and stricter. And she raised me very traditionally, so I was always taught show no emotion and don't talk very deeply. You're a man. Men don't cry. Says the woman. You don't know what I'm wrong. I won't tell you how to live. Don't tell me how to live. So yeah, she it's weird. Where was I going with that? I grieve my dog very often. I just do that internally though. I think about him a lot. Because she sent him away after I said this, and some of our other friends were also in McDonald's and listening. And they were also just distraught as my friends were as I was describing this on like the verge of crying as I was describing it. You could definitely hear it in my voice, I think. How I was describing how like my mother would like my father would occasionally give him threats of like just putting my dog down. But that's painless. You stick a needle in them and then they slowly go to sleep and then they're gone. I didn't want that for my dog. But it's painless. My mother, like, I told them about how, like, my mother would sometimes see I'm in the room with her, or sometimes she wouldn't notice I was there. Meaning, she would also definitely do this if I wasn't there at all, where she would just give death threats to the dog. And they were incredibly detailed and, like, horrible and, like, torturous. And she's the one that advocates for, like, don't be mean to animals and stuff like that. She used to be a vegan for this very reason. She keeps pets for this very reason. And doesn't keep other pets for the same reason. Like, don't get a bird. It'll mess up the house if you don't keep him in a cage. But if you keep him in the cage, that's cruel. So, no bird. Keep the cats so they aren't stuck on the streets. Then you'll be nice to them. But when it comes to dogs, it's not like that at all. So she would talk about such, like, vivid ways she would want to kill him. And I even talked to them about the idea of running away and how I said, like, if I ran away, I'd take my dog because he's treated very poorly. And if my dog dies before that, I'm just leaving. And then my friend Albino was, of course, like, well, I don't even know if I fully talked about this. He would, of course, talk to me about, like, maybe don't run away. You know, if I find out you run away or I see signs that you're going to, I'm calling Child Protective Services. I do not want this for you. So he kind of convinced me out of it. So I'm still here. Never did it. Haven't looked at the plan in a while. And then my dog was sent away, and I didn't know this for a few days, and it was so sad, and I couldn't do anything about it. But hey, at least he didn't get killed. That's what I can always look for. That's what I can always feel content with. At least he didn't get killed before then. But he wasn't even taken to like a normal pet shop. She said she took him to like about a pound. I feel like that's very different from just a pet shop. That's like not as good. So I was describing this to them, and The friends even on the side were like very shocked to this, and I was saying like, she's not very good with dogs. This dog has been like, I grieve him so much because like he's almost as old as me. He's 2 years younger than me. Genuinely, I've had him since the very beginning, since the start, since like the general start of my memories actually developing in my head because I was a little baby, and he was 2. And before that, when we actually lived in a house because we always kept moving up from apartment to apartment until I finally got a house. Back in that first house, we had another dog. It was very similar. He wasn't a Chihuahua, but it's one similar to that. I don't know what it's called. It's not a wiener dog. It kind of looks like a mix between a wiener dog and Chihuahua. It was black with some brown accents. So, whatever that one is. I don't want to say other names. Either of these dogs. Just, I don't feel like it. This one, she starved. She starved him to death when I was just a baby and I didn't know what was going on. So, that's how that one died. She's not good with dogs. And my friends were like horrified by that. Like, no, that's not good. I don't know why I really paused on that. I feel like that does need to be described a lot more than just specifically describing what my parents are like and how they are, because I think I did put more emphasis on talking about this than I did the parent and home life stuff there, and it is like a big thing that bothers me. But yeah, then I got to describe psychosis and how terrible my neurologists and psychiatrists and therapists are and how I never want to see one again. And like, yeah, those would suck. Maybe you should find another one. I got a good recommendation, because again, they both have gotten diagnosed before I did. They both have way better places. They're like, I can recommend you a place. No, I don't trust them anymore. I'm sorry. This is that was Squimpy that said that, because Doodles recommended me some before I got a chance to start my diagnosis process, and my mother was just like, we can't afford that. We're not able to get like health insurance. Right, friends? You just can't live up to that. Immigrant household, you know? And so I got to talk about my psychosis and exactly what it's like, way more than what they thought, not just the exaggerated fears, but how I got terrible paranoia and how these things have been so much more accurate that I literally often cannot tell what's real and what's fake, and the weird ideas that like everything is fake and fabricated in this life and everyone's an actor and observed at all times, either as an experiment or for entertainment, whatever it may be. Because again, it does happen like that a few times. Not as bad as that one video that I think I did post. I can't remember. I could have honestly just avoided uploading it or deleted it. I don't check my channel a lot. I'd understand myself if I chose not to upload that. That was really bad. But got to talk about all that. It's terrible. And I also talked about like as we were walking back to school, how like my terrible irritability and anger management issues that I used to have, that I thought, you know what, maybe I should stop yelling at my friends and then hitting them and like breaking things in my own house and work on that. So I did that sometime after 8th grade, and I thought it got better. And then I realized, and I told them about how I was realizing that no, I think that just kind of turned into the frustration that me taking my frustrations out on my own skin. I talked to them about that one time that like in my room's lighting, you can't see it unless you're really trying hard to. Because I thought it wasn't deep enough to make a permanent scar. It's so hard to see because it healed after a while. So my friends were playing around at school. One of them, who was also vaguely Hispanic, rolled their sleeve up. Like, oh, let's see how white I am. Because, you know, pale. Long sleeves, you know? He was like, hey, you do it too. So I tried it. And immediately, whoop. Because I saw it immediately. It was so easy to see in that lighting. On the walk to school, it's not as easy to see. Especially when it's like outside and the sun was starting to go down. That's why I was telling them, like, hey, when it gets to this point, we should probably start walking. It's getting pretty late. And hey, I haven't done it in a while. That's good. Squippy said they hadn't done it in a while, and it never seems like it. Only a few times they'd ever really broken skin. It hadn't ever been that bad. It wasn't that much. And then Doodles was talking about how they did it a lot in the past. I don't even remember why they did it. If they were even like, I think some of them they might have been upset, and other times it was just like a general stress reliever because they liked doing it. So they didn't do it on the arm. That was just me. They did it like on the thighs, both of them, just for more room. Get both of them. Keep going. Ran out of room. Go back. Ran out of room again. Back here. They blocked out so much of it from their memory. That's a big thing with this person. A lot of their trauma is just blocked out from their memory. They can't remember any of it. It's like they would see like the scars and it was just like, just very veiny, and then realize no, those are definitely scars actually, and then realize they were all over their back. And so they at some point got caught, and as far as they remember, they got caught and then stopped after that. And then they talked about how they were actually told that's not how it went. Because again, all got blocked from their memory. None of us have been through good things. So yeah, that person, way more extreme in that sort of case. Talks about the one time I tried to overdose and wasn't sure if I'd wake up when I went to sleep that night, and then I did, and it felt weird. We talked about a lot of things. And as we got closer to the school, we then talked more about like middle school stuff, and also started talking about queer stuff. And I talked about how I felt so weird saying I was part of this because I discovered it very recently. Because I didn't have anyone to talk to about it through middle school. They were all straight. And then they talked about how like the friend group I thought they all had through middle school actually took a while to develop as it was. They were also friends with mostly straight people in the friend group. I don't know how they discovered anything, but they did. So, you know, it did make things slightly easier to talk about it that way. And I got to finally talk about the whole, like, you discover all this now, you decide to change the whole, I want to change my name, I don't like how it feels, and just call it a nickname, and finally realize it's actually a preferred name. And then suddenly, no one you know is using it. And then you meet new people, you try to tell them it, and your old friends tell them a different name. Now that's what they use. Look how upset I was about it. Doodles was just like, man, I was talking to Doodles about how like he forgot, he kept like not using it. I genuinely thought he was upset at me for it, and I really was just like, I'm sorry. I really tried making a point to it. I forgot this week. I'll try. I'm really trying. And yeah, he still does it. And then Squippy was just like, oh, that was a preferred name. I thought that was just for like close friends. I'm really sorry. They were apologizing so bad. They felt so bad. So now both of them do use the right name. It felt weird because I even talked to them about like just deeper things like, I don't know how to deal with people apologizing. Honestly, if people are apologizing about a deep thing, no matter how upset I may have been to start with, I've probably already internally forgiven them and moved on before they even get the chance to apologize. And so now it gets really awkward and I don't like talking about it. So I don't want to say the words like, oh, I forgive you, it's okay. I don't want to do that. Talked about a lot of deep stuff like that, like how everything is so superficial in my house that like I don't like Christmas presents or birthday presents. Get me a present at any time. Don't do it on a specific holiday. And almost 20-minute video, wow. But yeah, I found out that like it was all a misunderstanding when they weren't using my name. No one was upset at me. That's just how things kind of were. I also talked about how like, in general, I don't really like compliments. That's another one of those semi-deep things. I don't like compliments. I'm just not used to them. They feel weird to me. An actual insult, that's really bad. But a compliment, I don't know how to deal with that. Give me like a joking insult. That's my form of compliment. Do that. That shows close. That's what I prefer. I think that was when they were talking about how like they felt bad about constantly like insulting us or calling us names just as jokes. Just like, I fully mean those as jokes. Do you guys want me to stop? No, that's better. You know? Macho. But good conversation. I enjoyed it. Feel a lot closer to Oakland now from it. Anyways, again, I keep thinking about the fact that like this is the first time I really lived in a house. I was in a house when I was like a 2-year-old. I don't remember, like, I barely remember anything about that house. I didn't even remember the structure of it until we finally visited it again, like a year ago. I don't know why we visited it. I don't remember, but we did, and that was so strange seeing it all, cause I didn't recognize the structure, but I recognized the rooms even without anything in them, and then I realized we had a garage the whole time. I don't have a single memory about that. God, I really want one. I always thought about that. Basement or a garage. That seems so cool. I don't get them. Yeah, after that, it was just apartment to apartment. And then finally, here, when I was 8 years old, I got to sleep in my own bed, in my own room, one night, in a big old house, way bigger than the apartments we kept living in. It was the best feeling ever when I slept here overnight, because technically we weren't living in the apartments anymore, even though the house wasn't actually finished, because my parents were still working on it. So while they were working, slept on the bed we left in here. That was probably the most calming night of my life, actually. So I've been in here for a while, and it's a small room. It's way smaller than the room I had in the last apartment. Might be bigger than the middle apartment. I haven't thought about it, but like the last one, this room's definitely smaller than that one. And so like I can't really decorate that well. I put a lot of things just taped onto the wall and hanging from there, because that's the only way I can decorate, because I don't have that much room. And so my room gets very cluttered. I don't have lots to do with it. But it's mine, and I have a lot of stuff in here from like so much more time than the apartments, because like I was sharing the room. We didn't have any decorations to that room, because we made it neutral, because we're both living in there. So I didn't have this much stuff. I have stuff under the bed that I don't know what to do with, because I think if I get rid of it in the future, I'll be like, man, I wish I kept that just for the memories, childhood. I don't need, like, I don't use most of that stuff, if any. But here's the thing, just because it's a lot of stuff, if I have to get rid of it, that take a long time. And now, my mother decided that after this year, moving to Boston. I don't have a confirmed answer, only because I don't want to believe it. She seems so much more adamant about this than she did about Spain. So, but the only way I'd get a confirmed answer is if her and my brother actually do start packing and move away to Boston after we get back home from our Christmas vacation trip that I kind of don't want to actually go to. Then I'd get an actual confirmed answer, because my mother said that they'd move away and then I'd stay here for a bit before then the school year ends, and then I can go with them. I just think while they're gone, I'd probably spend like after school every single day just packing, because this is gonna take a long time getting all this stuff and figuring out what I want. I'd have to figure out how things would be so different here too. I think I might go insane with how quiet it becomes, nothing going on, but I get a bit more freedom, It'd be a bit more self-expressive. Here's what really bugs me. I haven't told a lot of people because I just want to get it confirmed first, and don't frighten me. Here's what really upsets me. Last night, our last performance for the semester too. My theater teacher, Holland, before our performance started, called me aside. He tried to be brief about this because he started losing his voice. I don't know why. It's getting better though. He's telling me that he was giving me, he wanted to give me big roles. He'd been giving me big roles in Drama 3, so he didn't have to give me such small roles in Drama 4. He said I'd improved so much and so visibly since I started, like, being in the theater program. And that, like, I'm actually one of the, like, I'm a really good actor in that class. And he had to ask me if I was gonna stay here for, like, the full 4 years of high school, and that, like, I could go into Drama 4 next year. He wants me in there. This could be my last year here. What if I don't get a chance to be in Drama 4? I really want to go in there. I would be so pissed if I actually have to leave. I don't know what to do about that. I also told them in the McDonald's about what happened with, like, my half brother. I probably talked about this a few times earlier in this channel. You guys wouldn't probably know it, but my half brother is a psycho, and he's currently in jail, and he's gonna be in there for a while. Yeah, I told them that whole story, and it's genuinely insane because there's, like, so much to it. Like, it means my father has been having an affair and is in a second family, which he pays even less attention to than this one somehow. But to be fair, both those kids are fully grown up now. I have two way older half siblings. They are both parents now. Meaning I have a half nephew and a half niece. I don't think my half sister has a partner anymore, but my half brother, she is terrible. So it's really unfortunate that the child is also just left with only her. Not that my half brother is, like, a better option, but still. For some reason, my father really likes my half brother way more than any of us. He kind of uses us and neglects us, but he loves my half brother. All the way up until, you know, nearly attacking my father. And then trespassing over here. Oh my god, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he did attack my father for taking so long to bail him out of jail before he trespassed here with a bunch of random guys in the van that he hadn't been paying rent for, with a seeming very high and, like, it seemed like he could have been dealing too, because, like, he's very high and has a bunch of money in that van. Yeah, so a few things to be arrested for. Insane stuff. I don't know how he is, like, directly related to my half-sister. She is, like, such a good person. I don't know how it happens. Like, you could have, like, just a normal name, but aside from that, let's still just look at two different types of people. You could name your child Ocean, or you could name them Ernestina. It's a really weird name. We don't like it. So, who's the better parent there? This is a weird discussion. Goodbye.